Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Boyo, founder here and lead coach at MBKonsult. MBKonsult is a platform for professionals, at whatever stage you are in your career, be you a beginner, be you at an intermediate level or, super experienced. We try to make room for each and every one. But I'm passionate about seeing people transition from wherever they are to wherever they want to be. So we talk everything that has to do with professionalism, that has to do with careers, navigating your careers, you being able to engineer what I call a career roadmap or a kind of a compass. Like a wise man once said, if you don't know where you are going, you are never likely to get there, right? We all understand the concept of GPS. That's why we use GPS. So, I'm here again as part of my mandate, as part of my personal obligation and commitment to the community to come out here twice a month, fortnightly basis, to see how we can contribute to the community. And I'm just super excited for, my friend and brother who is, coming out, to support us today. And, in the person of Olu Samuel, I would allow him introduce himself because I don't think I'm going to do justice if I have to introduce him. But I just want to say a few things that I met him on a training platform, I would say about 3 years ago now, or even up to almost 4 years now, actually. And, we didn't really get to talk. Olu Samuel, I think we were both in cohort two, I'm not going to say more than that. But at that time, I don't think we interacted and everybody parted ways. And we now came back about a year after. And there we kind of realized that, oh my goodness, there are super champions, amongst us. When we all entered school back in the day, I would probably say I went to Obafemi Awolowo University. It's like you feel like for you to have even gotten in, you must have been a local champion where you're coming from. And then, but when you now get in, you now realize that you're not the only local champion. So everybody that got in were local champion from wherever they were coming from as well. And then you now begin to realize that you now need to find your new level. And, I'm really super proud of him because he truly found his new level. And he quickly became a go-to person in terms of knowledge, in terms of grit, in terms of commitment, transparency. I can keep on with that, the adjectives. And that friendship, continued. And, recently we caught up just to kind of touch base with each other. What are you into? What are you doing? And then I realized that we weren't far from each other in terms of, what our goals are in terms of, trying to help people advance in their career. And that's why we're here today. So enough said from me. I would just want to hand it off to him and say that to Samuel, thank you so much. Can't even thank you enough for taking the time and, agreeing to come out here to share what you've been working on and how, the community here can benefit from it. So I give it to you. Welcome with me, Olu Samuel. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Michael Boyo. Am I audible, everyone?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, like nice time getting to know each other, and I'm really happy that we're able to catch up and also have a goal alignment, if I could say that. So yeah, hi everyone. I'm Olu Samuel. I believe I'm not a stranger to many people on this call today anyway. So I lead the AI product and CRM marketing at CareerOnTrack, as well as being the founder as well, right? So aside from that, though, I bring a background of Salesforce solution architect with experience leading like intelligent automation and AI empowered CRM project at scale, not just within Salesforce, but outside of Salesforce. And at CareerOnTrack, my work sits at the intersection of intelligent automation, human potential, and also scalable system. So I do specialize in building AI driven products that help people navigate career challenges with clarity, speed, and also precision as well, right? But also at the core, I am passionate about turning smart technology into a real world impact, as an example. And what we want to do today is we want to focus on how to unlock your career growth with AI driven tools. So, like I said, a lot of folks on this call, you guys know me, so I'm not going to do a ton of introduction. I'll just keep it as short, as brief as that, and then I'm going to move on to the presentation here. So I'm already sharing my screen anyway, but I'll turn off the camera for the sake of so we could focus on on the slides. Okay. Now let me just move to the next slide here. All right. Before I actually dive into demo what we have today, right? Landing interviews, but never the offer. Like, right? Like a lot of you guys, this is probably not new to many people. You get lots of interviews, but maybe not lots, but you get interviews, but you never land the offer, as an example, right? And this is the silent dilemma like many professionals face today. So on paper, right, they have all these check boxes, they check all the boxes and everything. But in the interview room, the story doesn't land, right? Like, you're just not adding up, right? So there is a gap, right? There is a gap. It's not a lack of skill, but there is a gap. And that gap is in the articulation. Like, how do you land that interview, right? Like, how do you get a job after the interview? So what we're seeing is the difference between like competence and perception. Okay, we're seeing the difference between competence and perception. And in the hiring climate as it is today, perception can be the deal breaker. Yeah, perception can actually be the deal breaker. So now, talent isn't enough if your delivery misses the mark. Okay, so it's sort of fascinating, right? Because we spend decades learning like all the skills, technical skills, and all of that, but yet no one actually teaches us how to communicate under pressure. That is what a lot of people face. How do you communicate under pressure, right? And neuroscience actually shows that the cognitive overload, it actually reduces our ability to articulate clearly when the stakes are high for the majority of the people, right? So when a candidate freezes or fumbles, right, it's not incompetent, it's untrained response under cortisol. That's what it is, right? And according to LinkedIn article, 92% of professionals, they report fearing interviews, more than public
Hearing.
speaking interviews. Okay, let's just try to stay on mute so we can have a smooth session. Thank you, guys. Right, so yeah, so as I was saying, like 92% of professionals, and this is based on article from LinkedIn, right? So they report failing interviews like more than even like public speaking. And this is sort of highlighting like widespread anxiety around interviews. And that's why success in interviews depends heavily on preparation. Now, you never as a matter of fact, you need to train like it's a game day, right? You need to prepare yourself like I'm going for an Olympic race. Like it's a game day. Like it's literally like the top two football team facing each other, right? It's a game day. So this isn't just about practice. It's like a deliberate calibration, if I could use that word, right? It's actually deliberate. So what we have here is CareerOnTrack AI interview ace feature. It's going to give you a forensic level feedback on your interview, like how you pitch and even how long it takes for you to answer a question, right? And the aim is not perfection, but you being fluent, right? Like fluency under fire. Like you need to be fluent, right? And that's what gets remembered in the decision room, because you need to realize that a decision has to be made at the end of that interview. And moving on to the next slide here, after just few simulation sessions, right? So users actually saw a 47% increase in offer rates after like using CareerOnTrack, and not because they changed their experience, right? Your experience is still the same, but because they refined how they communicate that experience that they have. That is the key thing. How do you communicate your experience in an interview, right? So confidence levels like literally rose sharply, and let me just see if I can do this here. Oh, wait 1 second. Sorry. Yeah. So as you can see there, right? So confidence level rose sharply with over 80% of users reporting like a noticeable shift, right? And that kind of psychological edge matters when you're under pressure. We also saw like 2x, right? We saw 2x increase in offer conversion. Now, what does that really mean? Like candidates were twice as likely to receive job offers after going through like a simulation-based interview practice compared to before they actually use the tool. And on average, right? On average, it takes just about three well executed simulation to unlock that breakthrough moment. And that's where theory meets traction and the result becomes real. Okay. Now, this is very crucial and very important. We're not up against other candidate folks. We're not. We're up against architecture in the new world, and what we're seeing in out there today. You're not up against other candidates. You're literally up against architecture, and 90% of companies, and I already have some tabs open that I'm gonna show you. 90% of companies as of today, they use an application tracking system, and that is also called ATS, right? Combined with AI to screen job applicants efficiently. That's what companies are doing these days, right? And what happens is that most resumes never reach a human before it's even being rejected, right? So your first interview isn't verbal. It's basically algorithm. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Your first interview is not just about having that verbal conversation. It's more about algorithm right now, right? It's algorithm, right? So understanding this is not just helpful, it's actually foundational. And before I actually show you the what the tool that I'm going to show you today, right? This is this is no longer about being the best. You don't. It's not about, oh, I'm the best in my field these days, right? It's about how aligned are you. It's about being the most aligned, right? It's not just about I'm the best, like I have 20 years, I've done this. No, how aligned are you in the market today? That is why top 1% of candidates, they don't send better resumes. They are actually smart in their approach, and this makes them to stand out from others, right? Remember, this top 1%, they're not the best, but they are aligned, right? Now, hiring is now a pattern recognition game. That's where hiring is going these days, right? It's more of a pattern recognition game, and those who actually tailor their message, their narrative, and tone with surgical precision, right? They consistently outperform those with more experience. In this case, as an example. Now, the science, right? The science of performance under pressure is now digitized. That's the way it is right now. So we could measure like hesitation or hesitation recovery or tone slope, even assertiveness cadence as of today, right? So we've literally moved from subjective prep, right? We've moved from subjective prep to empirical insight. That's what it is right now. And that's how the pros train and how offers are secured today. Okay. Now, another thing that is worth noting here is skill gaps are silent career killers. Now, career stagnation often hides in the unseen, and basically not in what you don't know, but in what you don't know you are missing, right? So that is why career stagnation often hides in the unseen, right? What do you not know that you're missing? It's not about, oh, what don't you know, but what don't you know that you are missing, right? And these sort of micro skill gaps, it creates a compounding disadvantage over the time. So the future belongs to the adaptively fluent people or fluent candidate out there. And with Career on Track, AI, Pathfinder, and Skill Master add-on features. These are add-on features. You literally identify any skill gap and also the next course of action to take, as well as also setting smart goals, right? Now, think of your career like a layered stack of like a layered tech stack, right? You need to look at your career as a layered tech stack, and at the base is your resume, right? Your resume is just the starting point, right? Yeah, that's the base, but your stack actually needs like a strategic logic and adaptive data and iterative feedback loops, and all these things begin to come into play, right? And that's what Career on Track AI delivers, right? Not just a tool, but actually a career operating system. Now, I plan not to have a lot of talk on the slide because I also want to show you what you could actually do with Career on Track. So what I'm going to be doing next is I will do a demo of the features that relates to why we're here today, because we do have other features as well, right? So just give me a moment and I'm gonna share that. But before I actually do that, I also want to I want to show you something before I do that. So just give me a moment. Yeah, just give me one moment, guys.
No, that's fine. Take your time, Olu Samuel. I'm double charged already because it's like I'm seeing AI as, so let me put it this way. It's either I see AI as a complementer or as a competitor, right? So I'm hoping that you'll be able to help me answer that question by the time you are done with your demo.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, this is a paid, Bloomberg is a paid, like more like a blog series, right? But if you ever have the chance or time to, you could actually see that job interviews enter a strange new world with AI that talks back. And this is literally posted like 2 weeks ago, right? This is like literally less than 3 weeks, right? Now, there are other, articles on this. Like this is a lead recruiter in Canada, right? So AI interview, the future of recruitment. So when we say AI interviews, the future of recruitment, what that is basically saying, I believe that it's a good thing, and I'll tell you why. Because no one has to see your face and say, "Oh, I don't like that person," right? Sometimes in the society that we do find ourselves, like even your skin color and other things can play a role in you securing a job. But we're entering into a future that AI is going to select the candidate not based on your skin color, but based on merit, based on fine tuning those, finding those small element that makes you to stand out from others. As an example, right? So this is like CBC Canada, right? So you guys, this is, I didn't make this up, right? This was last updated like 14 days ago, right? So I'm not gonna read this to you, but I want you to see where the future is going. An AI bot might be asking the questions at your next interview. Now, the benefit for you is when you also use an AI product or platform to practice. Now, you're using AI to practice, AI is interviewing you. So AI is literally telling you what to look out for because its fellow AI is going to be interviewing you in the near future anyway, right? And finally, before I jump into Career on Track here, AI is now conducting job interviews, right? This is an article by John Thomas on LinkedIn, as you guys could Google all of this stuff, right? And you could read up on it. So today, I want to show you, and by the way, I'm just going to close all of those tabs for now. Give me 1 second. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a demo of Career on Track, specifically how can you ace a job interview. And there's two sides of it. There is the AI assistant, and there's also the interview prep. Now, I'm not cherry picking anything. I'm not saying, oh, because I'm a salesperson, I'm going to put sales job, right? I am going to do everything right in front of you now, live, right? With a random job, like I don't even know about, right? It's not me like trying to cherry pick some jobs that I know that the platform is going to do well, but it's about what the system can do. So what I'm going to do right in front of you is I'm going to go on Google, right? I think I'm going to use a maybe a doctor or a nurse, right? So um, I'll just say physician jobs USA. So I'm just, like you guys could see, I'm just literally typing this in, right? So let's just see. Okay, so physician, I'm not a doctor, so I just want to show you what this tool can do as an example. Okay, so yes, please, John, go ahead and ask a question.
Yes, I just want to ask, could maybe possibly someone on the call with an experience want to tell us his or her experience, and we'll use that for the demo, if that is fine.
I would love
Just a
that.
suggestion.
I would love that, right? I would love to. That was actually, that's a good one, right? I don't want to be the one to do the demo. I want someone on the call to do the demo, and I would really love that. Before we do that, let me do this one, and then we get a volunteer, right? Even maybe like Michael Boyo or my very good guy Philip, right? So maybe one of you guys, right, or even one of you, anyone, I'm more than happy, for us to actually do that. I really like that idea. Yeah. So, but before I do that, now I'm not a doctor, but I just want to show you something, right? So let's say I'm a new grad, right? I just literally finished like my medical school, and I'm literally finding a job as an example. So let's look for anyone, it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna pick this one as an example so you guys can see. So you as a person, right? You applied for a job, or maybe they reached out to you on LinkedIn as an example. They're gonna send you a job description, and they're gonna do all of that with you, right? In that job description, this is too basic, by the way, but let me see job description. Yeah, this is basically too basic. So let's find something that is a little bit, well, yeah, okay. Maybe this as an example. So What I'm going to do here is emergency medicine. So they're looking for a locum physician. So you as a person, you're lucky, you got this job, right? So what you do in order for you to actually prepare for the upcoming interview, right? Remember you're up against, algorithm here. Okay, so I'm going to copy this as an example. So when you want to use CareerOnTrack AI tools, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that in here because this is the job that you are applying for, right? And also the job description. So you could copy everything, but the most important thing is the job description here. Okay, but you could literally copy everything if you wanted to. So I'm going to paste that in there as an example. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll put in my name. So let's say I'm the one applying for this role. So for the sake of this, I'm going to say, for the sake of time anyway, we're just going to say ask two questions, right? So you as a user, you could decide to leverage on 3 questions, 1 question. The maximum you could ask at a time is 5, right? For a paid paid user, the maximum you could ask at one time is 5. But for a free, right, when you subscribe, you get one free, question that you could make use of, right? So let's say it's an entry level, okay? Let's say this guy is literally a fresh grad, right? So there are other languages, so you could choose English or Chinese or French or Spanish or English, but our favorite is Emily, right? So we pick Emily, right? And also, what kind of questions do you want to practice with? Like, what kind of questions are you, anticipating that these are likelihood questions to come up during the interview. So what I'll do for this sort of job, this is a medical physician, right? I maybe not go technical because technical relates more around about IT or those sort of jobs, right? But for this, I'll probably go behavioral because that's a very good alignment, and I will probably go with situational, right? I'm just picking some random stuff, right? So before I do that, I need to literally share my tab because you're not going to hear the audio in a situation like this. Okay, so yeah, now watch these guys. For this practice, I'm going to say AI assistant because right now I don't even know what to say. So what I want AI to do for me is, AI, please help me to answer this question so I can go away and practice with this question, right? And now I know a number of people that have actually used CareerOnTrack AI, and I know some might also be on this call as well, right? So what you can do is there are 2 options. You could do the AI, and when you hover the mouse there, you could actually see, right? The AI assistant is going to answer the question. You go away and practice before your interview, right? And most of the time, yeah, these questions are very much aligned, like almost the same questions that you get during the job interview. Sometimes, right? Not like 100% because obviously you don't know what exactly they can ask. But what I've seen is that they could ask you a question that is the same that the AI already asked you, but they just literally rewarded us. The way they ask is sort of different from the way the AI asks you, but it's literally the same thing, right? But without any further ado, let's just test this one out for a second.
Welcome. I'm Emily, your career coach and expert interviewer from CareerOnTrack AI. How are you doing today, Olu Samuel?
I'm doing good, thank you.
I'm glad to hear that. Are you here for AI assistance or interview prep today?
I will be here for AI assistance, please.
Great choice. Welcome to AI assistance mode. I will provide you with 2 real-life interview questions and sample answers based on the job highlights. Just to clarify, you are not expected to answer during this session. Let me know if you're ready to start.
Yes, I'm ready.
Awesome. Here's your first question, question 1. Can you describe a time when you had to handle a large volume of patients? How did you manage your time and ensure quality care? Sample answer. In my previous role, during my internship at a busy clinic, I was responsible for managing a high volume of patients, often seeing around 30 patients in a single shift. To handle this effectively, I prioritized my tasks by assessing the urgency of each patient's needs. I created a checklist for each patient to ensure that I covered all necessary assessments and treatments efficiently. For instance, I would start with patients who had more complex needs, ensuring they received the attention they required first. I also communicated with my team regularly to delegate tasks such as having a nurse assist with preliminary assessments. This teamwork allowed us to streamline the process and maintain a high standard of care. By the end of my shift, I received positive feedback from both patients and my supervisor, which reinforced the importance of time management and teamwork in a high-pressure environment. Are you ready for me to provide the sample answer for the next question?
Yes, please go ahead.
Here is your second question, question 2. How do you ensure that you stay updated with the credentialing and privileging processes in your field? Sample answer. Staying updated with credentialing and privileging processes is crucial in my field. I make it a priority to regularly review the guidelines set by the state licensing board and the facilities I work with. For example, I subscribe to newsletters and professional organizations that provide updates on any changes in regulations or best practices. Additionally, I attend workshops and webinars focused on credentialing to enhance my understanding and skills. When I was preparing for my last locum assignment, I reached out to my recruiter to clarify any specific requirements for that facility. This proactive approach not only ensured that I was compliant, but also helped me feel more confident in my role. By maintaining open communication with my recruiter and staying informed, I can navigate the credentialing process smoothly and focus on providing quality patient care. Are you still with me?
Yes, I am.
Great. Now, let me explain why these answers are effective. Both sample answers utilize the STAR method, situation, task, action, result, which helps structure responses clearly. They provide specific examples that demonstrate relevant skills and experiences such as time management, teamwork, and proactive learning. This not only shows your qualifications, but also your ability to handle the responsibilities outlined in the job description. Actionable tips to improve your responses include 1. Always relate your experiences back to the job requirements. 2. Use specific metrics or outcomes when possible to quantify your achievements. 3. Practice delivering your answers to ensure they sound natural and confident. We've reached the end of AI Assistance Moda. If you'd like to switch to interview prep mode for live practice, please restart the session. You can press stop to end the session.
Wow, Emily, that was very impressive. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'm glad you found it helpful. If you have any more questions or need further assistance in the future, feel free to reach out. Good luck with your interview preparation. Have a wonderful day.
Yes, Emily. Bye. All right. So now the next thing you can do is download the transcript. So that's what I'm going to do now. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to call this MBK. So that is the power of, oh, wait 1 second. It's not allowing me to. Okay. So, okay, let me share my full screen again so you guys can see what we have here. So that one that I showed you is actually when, you're not confident enough, right? You feel like, oh, I'm not ready yet, but I would need an AI to assist me. So now you as a candidate, you go back with this interview script, pay close attention to the questions that were being asked, right? So whatever question they were being asked, look for keywords in those questions as an example, because during your interview, you might be asked a very, very similar close question, but pretty much phrased in a slightly different way, right? Now, when you take these, before the interview, you read it, you master these sort of questions, right? It helps you to answer the way maybe AI is interviewing you, or maybe somebody else is interviewing you, right? You know what to say at the right time with precision, not like going overly, maybe over 3 minutes or 4 minutes, right? Because sometimes when you go too long with your answers, then you're going to lose the interviewer, as an example, right? So you as a person could go away with these a PDF go through, then you could come back again and then practice with Career on Track with the interview prep. Now, this is when the AI is going to ask you a question and you are going to be the one to answer. And that is the beauty of this product, right? Then the AI is now going to give you feedback like, oh, this is what you did well. This is what you didn't do well, right? This is how to improve. This is what you should do. You know, all those kind of conversation is now going to come into play with the AI. And then you also get the transcript for that as well. It's not just a transcript for the AI interview. For everything you do, you get a transcript for that as well, right? Philip, that was actually a very good experience. Wow. Yeah, AI is here. It's here, guys. It's here. All right. So we do have Ogo. Ogo is gonna go through this. Ogo, you could just use 2 questions. So just for the sake of time, and any job, you could use your field. You could use any field, right? It doesn't really matter. And number of questions can be 2. You could use any difficulty level that works for you. That's fine. Yeah, so you could, yeah, technical for you and maybe something else. Maybe, yeah, okay. So I guess that's all we need, right? You could change your picture, but obviously this is not your account, so that's okay. Yeah, there you go.
Ogo, are you following? Are you
Yes.
okay?
You can start. You can start now.
Okay.
Welcome. I'm Emily, your career coach and expert interviewer from CareerOnTrack AI. It's great to connect with you, Ogo Act 4. How's your day going?
It's going well, Emily. Thank you for asking. How about you? It's going well, Emily. Thank you for asking.
Perhaps your mic is not connected well.
Okay, let me check my headphone.
Yeah, make sure your browser, although Emily should reach out to you and say, hey, you know, we can't hear you.
Okay. Can you hear? Okay. Hi, Emily.
Hi, Ogo. Yes, I can hear you perfectly. I'm glad to be
Perfect.
here with you today. Are you here for AI assistance or interview prep?
Interview prep.
Welcome to interview prep mode. It'll ask you 2 unique interview questions based on the role of STAR, Manager of Global Email Marketing and Instructure. After you answer, I'll provide detailed feedback to help you improve. Let's get started. First question, can you describe a time when you had to manage a complex email marketing campaign across multiple stakeholders? What steps did you take to ensure its success?
First of all, I had to build a structure that would guide me through the process for implementing the strategy across these multiple stakeholders, the timeline, the means of execution, and possible results from these campaigns.
Thank you for your response. It seems like you started to outline your approach, but I encourage you to elaborate a bit more. Could you provide specific details about the structure you built, the challenges you faced, how you communicated with stakeholders, and the results of the campaign? This will help paint a clearer picture of your tailor. Are you ready to continue?
Yes, I am. So I had a Nurses Months campaign across several partners.
That sounds interesting.
Okay. First of all, I wanted to find out, I had to build the HTML emails. Then some of these emails required A/B testing. And after that, during the course of setting up automations, because all of these emails require different audiences. So I used SQL, I used filter data extension in Salesforce Marketing Cloud to create audiences for these campaigns. Then I used the automation in Marketing Cloud to set a scheduled time for these campaigns. And when these emails flighted, I also did a post-release validation to ensure that the emails were sending to the right audiences. And I had to test it with the CRM. So once these goals were met, I was able to reach out to each stakeholder to tell them that the emails were sent already to their target audiences.
Thank you for sharing that detailed response. It sounds like you had a well-structured approach to managing the Nurses Month campaign. You covered important aspects like building HTML emails, A/B testing, audience segmentation using Skull, and post-release validation. Now, let's move on to the second question. Can you tell me about a time when you had to lead a team through a challenging project? What strategies did you use to foster collaboration and ensure accountability among team members?
The first, I had a campaign whereby we needed to build or send emails to people out of Florida and those in Florida. So it was quite tricky because we needed to use the postal code from the data spool in CRM, but that data wasn't clean. And so with the help of a senior manager, I was able to get all postal codes for Florida, and I was able to use those codes in the SQL automation using the wearing clauses. So with that, I had to inform the stakeholders that we'll need to have two separate email journeys for those in Florida and those outside Florida. So with the means of that execution, sorry, with the use of that strategy, I was able to make something very complex as simple as that, using the right SQL automations and two separate journeys.
Thank you for your response. It sounds like you navigated a complex situation effectively by collaborating with a senior manager to clean the data and create two separate email journeys. This shows your ability to lead through challenges and communicate effectively with stakeholders. Now, we'll provide you with feedback on your answers. Are you ready for the feedback?
Yes, I am.
Great. Feedback on your responses 1. First question, score 6 out of 10 strengths. You provided a clear structure of your approach and mentioned specific tools like Skull and Salesforce Marketing Cloud, which is great. Areas for improvement, try to include more details about the challenges you faced during the campaign and the specific results achieved. This will help demonstrate the impact of your work. 2. Second question, score 7 out of 10. Strengths, you effectively described a challenging situation and how you collaborated with a senior manager to resolve it. Your use of Skull automation and the creation of separate journeys was well articulated. Areas for improvement. While you mentioned the strategy, it would be beneficial to elaborate on how you fostered collaboration within your team and ensured accountability among team members. Timing feedback, your responses were a bit on the shorter side. Aim for more depth in your answers, ideally between 2 to 3 minutes, to fully convey your experiences. Actionable suggestions when answering. Consider using the STAR method, situation, task, action, result, to structure your responses more effectively. Include specific metrics or outcomes to quantify your success, such as open rates or engagement levels. Would you like to hear some low score sample answers for further improvement?
Yes, please.
Here are some sample answers that illustrate effective responses to similar questions. Low score sample answer for first question. In my previous role, I managed a complex email marketing campaign for a healthcare initiative. The situation involved multiple stakeholders, including the marketing team, compliance, and external partners. I started by creating a detailed project plan that outlined the timeline, responsibilities, and key milestones. I held regular check-in meetings to ensure everyone was aligned and addressed any concerns promptly. As a result, we successfully launched the campaign on time, achieving a 25% increase in engagement compared to previous efforts. Why this answer is effective, it clearly outlines the situation and the steps taken. It emphasizes collaboration and communication with stakeholders. It provides a measurable outcome, showcasing the success of the campaign. Low score sample answer for second question. I led a team through a challenging project where we needed to segment our audience based on geographic data. The data was messy, so I collaborated with our data team to clean it up. I organized brainstorming sessions to encourage team input on how to approach the segmentation. By fostering an open environment, we developed 2 distinct email journeys for different audiences. This approach not only simplified the process, but also resulted in a 30% increase in click-through rates. Why this answer is effective, it describes this challenge and the collaborative approach taken. It highlights leadership skills and the ability to foster teamwork. It includes a specific result, demonstrating the effectiveness of the strategy. These examples can help you understand how to structure your answers for clarity and impact. Would you like to proceed with more detailed feedback or any other assistance?
No, thank you, Emily.
You're welcome, Ogo. I'm glad I could assist you today. If you ever need more help or want to practice again, feel free to reach out. Good luck with your interview preparation and have a wonderful day.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care and have a great day ahead.
Bye.
Olu Samuel, can you do, except if it has to do with this, but I want Olu Samuel to kind of show us how a new person would onboard on Career on Track.
Thank you. And also thank you as well, Philip, for the input there. But let me quickly show you how to sign up. So obviously on the landing page of the website, so you click on sign up, okay? So when you click on sign up, put in your name. So we'll just say, I'm just putting some random name. We could always delete this from the database, right? So you put in your email, okay? So you put in your password, a strong password. You put in the password. So if someone referred you, so we do have a referral code. So let's say someone referred you, right? So you could put in the referral code there. So what that does is that for every paid subscriber, they get a commission automatically, right? So they get a commission and they could either reuse their commission within the CareerOnTrack platform, or they could also make a withdrawal to withdraw whatever they make in terms of commission as well, right? So there is a referral code there. So, and also if you're an influencer, right? So let's say you have a community, but let's not go into that. Let's just keep it simple for now. So we're gonna say click on sign up, but let me just grab the email because we're gonna need to log in as well. So click on sign up. Okay, you could also sign up with your Google account. So it says account creation was successful. So I'm gonna paste that email there and put in the password. That's it. It's as easy as that, right? So you put in your email and your password, then there you're in. You're in, right? It takes you right away to this page. I didn't show the on-the-job assistant today because there's going to be another opportunity to show that, right? Today we wanted to focus on landing a job with interview aids, right? There are way other features that I haven't like also showed today as well. So, but Philip did mention this. So this is for you. Like a lot of people come to my inbox and say, "Oh, I'm working on this project. How do I do this? How do I do that?" Right? You don't longer have to do that. You can just come here on the job assistant, which is gonna be another demo anyway. Like it's not what we're gonna show today, but yeah, there is another option there. Like if you're struggling with a project, or maybe you're new to Salesforce or any field that as it may be, and you're struggling and you feel like, oh, how do I do this? How do I approach this project, right? Just come here, engage with the AI. Is a two-way conversational. You could speak with it. You could say, oh, yeah, hi, Cheng. The guy's name is Cheng. AI name is Cheng. I'm working on this project. How do I go about it? So you guys could have like a two-way conversation and back and forth, right? So now, in order to subscribe, and by the way, this is where you could generate your referral code for anyone that wants to refer anyone. You just simply copy the referral code, right? And then you could probably see you currently have 0 referrals, and you have now referred like X number of payers or paying users as an example. So now, MBKonsult do have a coupon code. How do you use that? So you could use it across any of the subscription package as an example. And by the way, there's also something about this tool, right? You may not be ready today because maybe you don't have an interview tomorrow, right? But maybe say next week or the week after you have an interview, then it's a good way to come back to this product and say, oh yeah, I do have an interview coming up in the next 2-3 days and I would like to practice. Then you could make use of that coupon code that is being shared with you, right? So how do you make use of that? So this is very important because even me myself, sometimes I'm pretty too fast and I just skip it, right? For any package that you're going for, as an example, so this is the Smart Task AI Coach, which is the on-the-job assistant, and this is both the interview mastery and the Smart Task AI Coach, or if you want to select interview mastery on its own, you could also select that as well, right? So any of the subscription, you just click on the subscribe button here. Okay, so once you click on the subscribe button, you're gonna get a coupon. Make sure, actually, can you please share that with me? Oh, let me see if I can grab it. from WhatsApp. I want to show you guys what it looks like. So just give me 1 second. Or you would like to, what do you want to do here, Michael?
No, you can put it in.
Okay, all right.
Just for
Yeah,
them
let
to,
me
at
just
least
grab the
as a
coupon
simulation.
code. Exactly. So you guys could see what it looks like. So it's 10%. Okay. So you paste the coupon code before you make payment. Okay. Otherwise, sometimes I've been a little bit too fast. I did not put in the coupon code. I just went straight to pay with Stripe and all of that, right? But click on apply. So once you click on apply, you guys can see that it gives you 10% off, right? So if I go back to subscription as an example, like quarterly, like maybe you and your friends, maybe you feel like you have a community or group of people that might need this tool. Maybe you want to have a quarterly subscription as an example. So let's pick this. So this is for both the Smart Task AI and the Interview Mastery as an example. So let me pick that. Okay, and I'm gonna say subscribe now. I'll put in the coupon code, click on apply, and that's going to be applied, and that's what you pay. So that's what, and that this is a special discount that goes to MBKonsult as well. So do you have any question around this, like you'd like to know, or maybe need some clarity? Like I said, some of you may not be ready today. Maybe you don't have an upcoming interview, but maybe at some point, or maybe some of you are already working and you probably need the on-the-job assistant. I believe MBKonsult will be reaching out to you and probably get your feedback, and maybe you'd like another session on how that works and all of that as well. Yeah.
No,
But
thank
other
you
than
so
that, do you
much.
have any question, anyone?
So thank you so much. Samuel, I was hoping, so I wanted to see like the features of each of those plans. So and again, not into details, but like, there's one that will give you 25 questions that you can ask Emily, for example. The quarterly one gives you like 75 questions so that, people just understand. Again, the pay as you go, I think you said that gives you how many? I'm not sure again.
You like 10.
10.
10
Okay,
using.
exactly. Yeah, this page. So when you want to, so you can see 10 resume uploads, 10 skills assessments, and then, 10, I guess this is the 10 questions you can ask the AI persona.
Exactly.
Yeah, if it's on a pay as you
Exactly.
go, you just for a one-time fee, you can do that, right? Or you go to the monthly package, which I think has 25 questions, and then the quarterly package has 75 questions that you can ask the AI persona. So it all
Yeah,
depends
and
on what
also
you
as
want to do.
well,
Yeah,
when
please
you
go ahead.
sign up, you do get one free credit for each of these features anyway. So you do get one free credit. The reason you get three here is Skill Master has like three different um, sort of like sub features, and you need three credits for those, and also for the Smart Task AI. So all of these are free anyway. So even though like if you're not paying, you could sign up and try it out and see and say, okay. I like this, and there are other features as well, but I wanted to focus more on the interviewees today. So this one requires that I upload a resume. So probably what I can do with this is like maybe next time we meet, I could show some of these features. These are add-ons, right? These are things like having your resume analyzed and see if you have any gaps, or if you want to set some goals and all those kind of things, right? Yeah, so probably next time I could quickly show you this as well. Or perhaps if you do sign up for free, you could also play around. Like you could play around with this stuff as well.
Yeah, so what does sign up for free entail? Just go in and sign up, of course, like you showed us,
This
and
is
then
a
you get
free
to the
account. I
landing.
just
This is
signed
free.
up. Yeah.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
okay, and you get whatever you get, like as you are showing on screen. So that's what I would encourage everybody, as in perhaps, for you to further, if you think you want to convince yourself. I'm convinced already. I hope that counts. You can go in and, you also, when I say play with Emily, I mean do something and try to understand much more than what we've done here. And finally, what I also wanted to, and thank you, Olusamuel, for that. I wanted to ask here, you see how that on the job assistant, because when I was chatting with Olusamuel, we both just laughed when I asked the question. So Olusamuel, what happens? Okay, now I got the job. Is it bye bye to Career on Track? And he said, that's a very good question, Mike. And I said, so what's your response to that? And he said, we have another module, back then it was still in the works, but I guess perhaps it's ready now. And what I just want to get a quick pause from the audience. Is this something that, you have appetite for us to get to somewhere to come back sometime in the near future to come and demo for us so that we can, again, fully understand what that looks like? Can I get thumbs up just to have a feel? Like, I mean, for me, I would want to see it, but is that something the audience you want to see at some point, just to kind of get your feel for that? Okay, that's good.
It's
Thank
a
you.
resounding
All right.
yes.
It's a resounding yes. So I don't care. You're speaking for everybody now. You see, a powerful ambassador, right? Okay, thank you. So Olu Samuel, there you go. You're coming back sometime soon, right? Which is good for all of us. So Olu Samuel, once again, I just want to thank you.